welcome you to today's Global Discipleship class. This is New Creation Realities 101, and I'm your tutor, Reverend Foster Aharon. I hope you enjoyed last week's class. Today we are continuing, and this class is very important because there were people in the church who infiltrated the ranks of leadership, and they were teaching false doctrines to the extent that they were troubling the believers. They were teaching things that were contrary to the truth, to the extent that Paul had to say this in Galatians chapter 5, verse 12. He says, I wish that those who trouble you would even cut themselves off. Paul was wishing that those false teachers who have infiltrated the church and were disturbing the spirit, disturbing the hearts of the new creation would themselves cut off. I don't know, it's an advice. I believe that there are two things that can happen if you are sitting in a place where you are being taught false doctrine. You either pray and cut off yourselves from those who trouble you, or you wish and pray that they will cut off themselves. Whatever the situation is, that is not mine to give, but I am just to teach you in this class. So I want you to know, the first point I want you to know about the new creation is that the new creation have been called. If you want a singular word, then the new creation has been called. That is, you who are a new creation, you have been called. There are teachings that give you promises concerning what God has already done for us in Christ. They come to trouble the new creation. I want you to believe that the new creation has been called. The new creation have been sanctified. The new creation have been made holy. If you are in Christ, you are a new creation. It is not now that God is going to make you holy. It is not now that God is going to do anything to sanctify you, but He has already sanctified you, and He has already called you. You can tell yourself point blank that I am a new creation, and therefore I have been called. Look at verse 13. It says, for you, brethren, that is for you, new creation, you who have believed in Jesus Christ, have been called to liberty. You have been called. There is a difference between you will be called, praying and fasting to be called. There is a difference between that and you have been called. It means you have already been called if you are a new creation. It is better you accept the call that God has already called you and take advantage of this call and enjoy this call that you have in Christ. I told somebody yesterday, if you are fasting and praying that God should call you, I believe that on the 40th day, He will speak to you and tell you, I have already called you. And this will bring you back to the same class where you need to believe that the new creation have already been called. The call of God is on your life because you are a new creation. You have been called in Christ Jesus. Now, if you accept that you have been called, then the next thing is to ask yourself, what are those things in Christ that I have, or what have I been called unto? Because God doesn't call a man for nothing. He called you unto something. And that moves us to the next item, which is God has called us unto liberty. God has called the new creation unto liberty. The verse 13 says, for you, brethren, have been called to liberty. So you have been called to freedom. You have been called to deliverance. In other words, you don't need deliverance. You don't fast and pray for freedom, but in Christ Jesus, you know what you have been called unto. So you have been called unto freedom. The Bible said it is because of freedom that Christ came to set us free. He came to set us free He came to call us so that we can enjoy our freedom, we can enjoy liberty, and we can enjoy deliverance. That is why we preach deliverance in His name. Yours is to know the deliverance that you have, and then you begin to take advantage of that liberty. I can also say that there is no new creation that is in bondage but for lack of knowledge. There is no child of God that is in any form of bondage but for lack of knowledge. It is the lack of knowledge that makes you to continue to live as though you are in bondage. That is why the Bible said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." The day you know that you have been called, you start to take advantage of what you have been called unto, which is liberty. I see liberty for you in this class. But there is something else you need to know about this liberty. That is, the new creation must take advantage of that liberty as an occasion for something that is profitable. In other words, take advantage of the liberty that you have in Christ. I want to show you in the verse 13. The verse 13 says, "For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh." It means you can use the liberty. Those who are enjoying liberty in Christ are those who accept that they have been called to liberty, and then they take steps to take advantage or to use the liberty they have to their profiting. There is an adage in Ewe where they put a hen under a basket for a long time, and then when they remove the basket, the hen still sits at one place as though it is still in bondage. That's how the new creation, many of us are. We have been called to liberty, but because we do not know that we are called into liberty, we still sit down and look for deliverance, look for the freedom that we have already been given. We have to use that liberty as an occasion for our profiting. You have to know that you have the liberty and then take advantage of the liberty. Take advantage of the liberty. But there is a restraint here. He said, only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh. If you can use something as a license, for instance, you use your grace, you use the liberty as a license to sin, that should tell you that you can use it as a license, but use it not as a license to sin. You cannot say we have been called to liberty and therefore you go about living anyhow. But the truth again is that you have been called to liberty, but use it as a license. Don't use it as an opportunity to the flesh, but use it profitably to benefit you. And that is what I will teach you in the next class. But today I want you to know that as new creation, you have been called. And number two, you have been called unto liberty, unto freedom, unto deliverance. It is something that is a reality for you. And then learn to use this liberty not as an occasion to the flesh, but use it as an opportunity to bless yourself and bless others. I hope you have been blessed. Next week, I will continue, and that will be the final class, and then we'll draw the curtains. Again, my name is Reverend Foster Aharon. You just attended the New Creation Realities 101. See you on Thursday as we end this class. Make sure you post your comment, share the video, and let me hear from you. You can call me on 020-832-6080. God bless you.